Yes, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and early, 5:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I'm running a little late this morning. I actually started working out. I got kind of jammed up this morning. At 2 a.m., I started going through all the stories, and there were so many of them, different stories and different videos, and I was saving all the links and making thumbnails and everything. And there was about 5 different stories, and I started to lose connection. Like I was mixing up the stories. There was too many of them, so I decided just to take a break and start working out. And as I was doing my sit-ups over there, it all came to me. Why I remembered something. I think this was second grade. An instance. I was going to talk about Donald Trump Jr. and recent video yesterday, day before, where he's talking about the Don't Say Gay bill and Democrats. And specifically in this video, I'll put this link down below. He says that Democrats want to cram explicit sexual innuendo down the throats of our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Like I said, the link's right down below. You can see yourself. Now, is he talking about preschool? Really? Show me a preschool where they're cramming this down, scare tactics, man. So I thought about how I would broach this, and all of a sudden, I remembered a specific instance that happened to me in elementary school, and that's what I'm going to talk about, and just take away from it what you will. This really happened. This is as close as I remember it. This school I went to was kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. There was a bus barn, a big bus building where we would all wait for the buses to come after school, and it was in the summer, and it was after school, and I was behind this shed. I think I was in 2nd grade. I know there was children older than me, and there was these nice single family homes on either side of the barn, big backyards. And I remember being next to a bunch of older, I think it was all boys. And there was like a teenage girl sunbathing in the yard next door, probably about half a football field away. They were big yards. There was a fence, and then over further, I think she was sunbathing, facing away from the barn, so you couldn't really see her that much. And these kids started yelling out slurs, all sorts of different things. I specifically remember them yelling out "lesy," and then other terms, other derogatory terms. And now I'm not proud of this, and I thought twice about sharing this with you guys, because it doesn't make me look good. But you got to remember, I was in 2nd grade at the time, and I remember wanting to fit in. These were older boys, and I remember them looking at me and kind of like, come on. And so I yelled out myself, "Leslie!" Yeah, little 9-year-old, 10-year-old Daryl. I was 8-year-old, I don't know, in 2nd grade. Now, just my luck, I specifically remember the boys around me just kind of fading away, disappearing. And next thing I know, teachers got me by the arm, seriously. And it takes me up to the office, and now I missed my bus. And I thought I was going to get in a lot of trouble, but I just remember the talk. This was a teacher. I can't remember if it was my teacher. I just remember it was one of the teachers. And she was a lot calmer than I thought. I thought she'd be yelling and, making me write on the chalkboard and calling my parents and all that. None of that stuff happened. And I remember her asking me, "That word you use, Leslie, do you know what it means?" And I had no idea. I had no idea what that word meant. I thought it meant stupid, dumb, big dumb head. Seriously, I was in 2nd grade. I had no idea what that meant. And you got to remember too, these guys were yelling out the slur for male homosexuals too. So I don't think they knew what the hell they were talking about either. They were just yelling out terms that they had heard that they didn't even know what they meant at this woman, because I honestly, looking back, some of them, I don't know, were probably in fourth grade. I don't know, maybe they were curious or whatever about a girl sunbathing. They wanted to get attention. I don't know. So they're just throwing out these vile terms, these derogatory terms at this poor woman sunbathing in the next door yard. And I end up joining in. So I'm like, no, I have no idea what that means, or I said dummy or something like that, or stupid. And the teacher proceeded to tell me, she said, well, some, you know how boyfriends have girlfriends, girlfriends have boyfriends. Well, some boys have boyfriends, some girls have girlfriends. And she says, lesbian is when a girl is in love with another girl. Now, I don't remember word for word, but I left that room understanding what that was, the word I was using. And she, it didn't sound like a bad. I felt foolish. I felt very foolish. And I still, for the life of me, I'm thinking I do not remember how I got home that day, because I missed the bus. And I know my parents didn't pick me up. I don't know if my friend drove me, if one of my friend's parents drove me home or what. That part of the story I don't remember. Okay, so now with this "Don't Say Gay" bill, right? I'm guessing that this conversation that the teacher had with me to tell me to let me in, and this probably still happens today, where kids don't know what words mean or whatever. And, I never used that word again. I never looked like an idiot and foolish and jumped on the bandwagon like that again after that experience. But today, with this "Don't Say Gay" bill, there's no way that would be able to happen. Well, I have no idea. What would a teacher nowadays be? What would they do if they had the Don't Say Gay bill was enacted, say with me back then? So the teacher pulls me aside, yells at me, reprimands me, but there's no way she'd be able to explain to me what the term I was using, what it meant, right? So no way. She wouldn't have been able to tell me what that word, she wouldn't even been able to say the word. So I would have left there not knowing what the word meant, having no idea, I would have left there probably more ignorant than I went in. Seriously. That's just one incident that popped into my head. I have not a hard time, but the "Don't Say Gay" bill, I haven't talked a lot about it because I don't have kids, A, I'm heterosexual, B, and until I find something empathy-wise, something that I can relate to the story I'm talking about, I usually don't talk about it. But then I just remembered this whole thing, and it was embarrassing. And, I was the bad guy here, but I was in second grade. So do I really want to talk about this? But it's a good point. What would a teacher do now in that situation? They wouldn't be able to tell me what that word meant. I would have left there probably more ignorant child than when I went in. Just something to think about. All right, you guys have a great Thursday.